welcome to another video on my channel. Today I am showing you guys how to do some fun fall apple nails. My mom requested apple nails for this set for fall, so we went with it and I added a little bit of plaid and it turned out super cute. So I can't wait to show you guys how I did this set. So first I'm starting to remove her old set with a carbide barrel bit. These bits are from Erica's ATA. You can find all the links in my description box to where to get all of the bits that I'm using. I use a medium or a coarse carbide bit. I get the ones without sharp edges. It's pretty cool because you can actually specify if you want with or without sharp edges. So if you're new or you're worried about possibly cutting your clients, they do have that option to kind of give you a little bit more safety net with the carbide bits. When I'm removing product, I do use my e-file on about 20 to 25,000 RPMs. So if you are using it on too low of a speed, you're actually going to create more heat and it's going to be uncomfortable for your clients and it's going to take you a lot longer to remove the product. Also, I really want to know if you guys like seeing this part of the video, if you like seeing the removal and the prep and all that stuff, or if you guys want to just skip straight to the art. So let me know in the comments if you enjoy seeing the whole process or if you are mostly interested in the art aspect. So next I'm pushing back her cuticles and I'm going to do some cuticle work using the Erica's micro taper bit. Again, all the links will be in the description box below if you are interested in looking at those. And for the cuticle bit, you do want to keep it on a really low speed, so about 5,000-ish RPMs, just really, really low and very, very little pressure. And what I do is I start in the middle of the nail and I go from right to left in forward on the e-file, and then after I've done all the nails I will go the opposite way, so I'll go left to right in reverse. So that pushes the skin back around the entire nail plate and it gets all of that dead cuticle off so your nails will stay on. I'm also using this bit to prep the natural nail, the new growth, for the product. So it kind of does all in one, gets all the dead skin and cuticle off, and then it also preps the natural nail for new product. After that, I'm going in and I am shortening her nails and just kind of refining the shape, and then I'm also smoothing out the old product that is still on the nail. My mom's nail beds are really long, so we like to keep her nails really short, but in the end, it still looks like she has long nails because her nail beds are amazing and super long. So she doesn't like any length on her nails, so we just take them all the way to as short as they can go, pretty much. After I've done all my prep and I've shortened her nails and smoothed everything out, all the old product out, I'm cleansing with my 99% isopropyl alcohol and getting all of that dust and debris off before I go in with my gel application. So I'm applying the Young Nails Protein Bond, which is a non-acid primer. And then I'm going to go straight into Trinity, which is an Akzentz Gel, and Trinity is a 3-in-1 gel, so you do not need a separate bonding gel with this particular gel. It's already built in. It's a base gel, a builder, and a top coat in one, hence the 3-in-1. So you can use this for all three of those purposes. And if I was applying this on somebody who is a lifter, I would still use a base gel, probably X-Bond, which is the Akzentz universal bonding gel. So I'd probably use X-Bond if this is somebody who tends to be a lifter. However, my mom is not a lifter at all. Pretty much everything I can put on her stays. She's super easy client. So I'm going in, I'm not applying a base gel, I'm going in straight with the Trinity, and I am brushing on a layer and I'm getting it as smooth as possible watching the line of light from my overhead light to make sure that gel is as smooth as possible before I cure it, because I'm not actually going to be finish filing these nails. If I was doing longer nails or, you know, something that I really had to shape, I would finish file. However, because we keep my mom's nails so short and she already has like a really nice arch in her nails, I am just doing a thin overlay over top of her nails, so I'm not going to be finish filing at all. And the Trinity gel does level out really nicely, so you can get it pretty smooth, almost perfect without finish filing, just from the application. And then, how I'm applying it is I do one nail and then I go ahead and have her put her hand in the lamp for about 2 to 3 seconds and then give it back to me, and then I move on to the next nail. And what this does is it keeps the gel from running into her cuticles and sidewalls, because it is a little bit runnier gel. So all it does, the flash cure just gives it just enough cure that it's not going to run any longer, and it's going to cure it just enough also that it's going to prevent it from getting so hot when she goes in for the final cure. So each nail is getting about 2 to 3 seconds, and then I'm moving on to the next nail, and then that way when she goes in for her final cure, it's not going to get hot because it's already been flash cured a couple times. So now I'm going straight into my color application, and I'm starting off with the Luxio Sophisto, which is a really nice nude for fall. So I'm going to be doing that color for the background of the apples, and then also the background of the plaid nail that I'm going to do. Then I'm going to be using the newer red, which is Tantalizing, from the Luxio line. And I'm also going to be using the Copper Dust, which is from their Gel Play line, which is a really beautiful coppery shimmer color, which is gorgeous for fall. If you do not have this color, you need it, because you can apply it over the entire nail for a full colored nail. But the Gel Play line you can also use for nail art. So you can do a full color nail with it, or you can use it for art, which you'll see me do both in this set. So I highly recommend this color for fall. It's very versatile, so you can do multiple things with it. And I'm going to be doing 2 coats of all of these colors on all the nails before I move on to the art. So I'm starting off with the plaid nail design, and I was wanting this to be kind of like a really simple, delicate plaid. I wasn't wanting any really bold lines or anything like that. So I'm putting all the colors that I want for the plaid on a palette. The palette's from Magpie Beauty USA. I will put the link in the description if you guys need a palette. And then the colors that I'm going to be using are the Gel Play colors brown, red, and then I'm also going to be using that Copper Dust. And if you guys need any tips about applying like really thin, fine lines, this is what I do. I use the Light Elegance stripey brush, and instead of pulling the gel straight from the pot and applying it on the nail, what you want to do is apply it to a palette first and run your brush through it so that your entire brush is coated with the product and you're not left with like a big blob on the end of your brush, which is going to create uneven lines, and it's going to give you, you know, like a really thick line that trails down to a really thin line. So you want to make sure your brush is really evenly coated and you're not taking the gel straight from the pot and putting it onto the nail. So you want to put it on the palette first and kind of coat your brush with it so it's nice, evenly coated, but there's no big blobs of product sitting on your brush. In between each color, I'm also having her flash cure, just because if you go from like a horizontal line and then you put a vertical line on top of it and the horizontal line is not cured, where the 2 lines meet, they're going to run together just a tiny bit and you're not going to get quite of a crisp line. So that's why I'm curing in between each color that I do. Also, another good tip when you're doing a horizontal line is to set your brush down and then actually turn the finger versus trying to drag your brush across. This is going to help you get a little bit more of an even line across the nail. Now for the apple design, I am using the Light Elegance Swirly brush, which is a little bit shorter of a brush than the stripey brush. And I'm using that Gel Play red, and I'm going to be creating some apple shapes onto the nail. And then once I've done that, I'm going to cure that. Then I've mixed a little bit of the red and a brown together on the palette, and I'm going to be adding some shading, just a tiny bit around the apples. What I did is I pulled up a picture of an apple. I think it was actually like a watercolor apple on my phone, so that way I could see kind of where to put the shading and highlights and stuff like that. So if you're not really good from painting things like this from memory, which I honestly am not, I prefer to have some sort of a reference, and so I just kind of Googled apples online and kind of got some ideas on shading and highlights and how to make them look really realistic and cute. So as I am curing the nails, I'm going to be mixing up a little bit of a darker green with the Gel Play green and a tiny bit of black, just to make, I wanted a little bit of a darker green than what was in the pot, and I'm going to be painting on some little leaves around the apples. Once I've done the leaves, I am taking the brown and I'm going to be outlining the apples and putting little stems on them, really, really thin. I didn't want anything super harsh. I did not want a thick, bold outline, just a really tiny, tiny, thin line around the apples, and then also making sure I add the little stem. Lastly, I'm taking some of that copper dust color and I'm going to be placing some little dots around the apples and the leaves just to tie everything in together, because this color is gorgeous and it's the perfect hint of sparkle for fall. Finally, we decided to add some crystals on the pinky nails. I'm using this mix from Blue Street Crystals, which is the Fire Mix, and I'm also using the Ugly Duckling Stick-It in order to apply the crystals. So I take a dotting tool and I just dip into the Stick-It and apply it where I am going to want the crystals, and then I use my crystal katana to apply the crystals. And this mix is, again, it's called the Fire Mix. It has some like reds, oranges, and yellows in it, so I thought that those colors would work well for this set. I do have a coupon code, which is Katie Dutra 5 for 5% off crystals from Blue Street Crystals. I love how they have crystal mixes already pre-mixed with different colors, so it makes it a little bit easier to order if you're not quite sure which colors and sizes to get. After I've done all of that, I am top coating. We decided to go with shiny. My mom did not want matte. She specifically said no matte. So we are going with shiny top coat, and I'm using my Magpie Beauty USA Don't Be Tacky top coat, which is a tack-free top coat. So it helps kind of skip a step at the very end. You don't have to cleanse. It's already done and finished. And then when I top coat where the crystals are, I make sure just kind of butt the brush up to the crystals, and then I take that swirly brush from Light Elegance, that tiny one, and I use the brush to go in between all the stones with the top coat to secure them in. And here is the final look, our lovely fall apple nails. I love how they turned out. I really love the plaid, and this color, I'm telling you that copper dust is gorgeous for fall. If you guys recreate this photo, make sure to tag me on Instagram at Nails by Katie Dutra. Make sure you're following me on all my social media, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you guys so much for watching.